Hello, everybody. This is Willie Summit III, founder of RightTouch Solutions. Welcome back to the RightTouch Rundown, your weekly dose of operational strategy and nonprofit clarity. We are now in part two of our series on board development and governance that works. So, in last episode, episode 9, we talked about evolving your board from founder lead, long term president to functional. Today, we're going to lean into a topic that makes side eyes start popping up bombastically. But please believe me when I say it deserves center stage. We're going to talk about term limits, succession planning, and leadership pipelines. Now, let me be clear. This is not just about knowing when it's time to kick somebody off your board or when it's to roll off. It's like we've been waiting for the moment to tell Jim, get out. This is about creating that rhythm of renewal. Because when no one's leaving and no one's growing, your board is just sitting still. And still water is stagnant, and stagnation brings mosquitoes and disease. And we do not want disease inside of organizations. Because healthy boards aren't just fulfilled, they're refreshed, they're replenished, they're rejuvenated. When you don't have intentional term limits and succession planning, you have long serving members get disengaged or they become overbearing because they take over a particular piece they've always been doing with no documentation, no oversight because, oh, we just know Tanya got it. Tanya becomes a bridezilla. Then you have potential new leaders that have no place or space to step in. They get on the board, they're very excited, but they can't find their footing because we haven't put a plan in place. And organizations miss that chance to evolve with the communities they serve and their overall environment that is existing. Succession is not just an HR concern. I know we often put it in that category. I know no one wants to talk to HR. I used to be HR. I know y'all don't want to talk to me, but it is about governance responsibility. Now, what happens without structure? Thank you for asking. Stagnation at the top. When the same people hold leadership roles for too long or far too long, things get real comfort cozy and not in a good way. This is not a lean back, put your snuggie on and just scroll your thumbs away. It's innovation slowing down. It's decisions feeling recycled and disengagement creeping its ugly self in here. You know it's hard to move forward when everyone's stuck in the same place. Just don't happen. That's physics. I'm not a physicist. The next thing that happens is unclear exits equal awkward moments. When there are no term limit policies, there is no natural way for someone to step down and end their service without it taken personally, even when that step down is necessary. So now, what should be a routine rotation is now a sensitive, I'm under attack. You're left tiptoeing around this transition when all you had to do is create that rhythm. Lastly, no pipeline equals no prep. When a board doesn't identify, or if you do not take the time to mentor future leaders, your organization will be left scrambling when a chair steps down. New officers come in cold and often very confused. A board without a pipeline is always in catch-up mode. So let me give you 3 steps, and we're going to get on out of here. 3 steps to build that leadership longevity. 1, implement term limits with intention. Don't just set term limits, communicate them up front. Talk about it the year before. Talk about it mid-year. Keep talking about it and embed them into your bylaws and into your culture. My standard is often 2 to 3 year terms, renewable one time, and then get out of here because innovation needs to happen. I am rolling off boards not because I hate the board, I don't want to be here no more, I'm overworked. It's because new ideas need to come in and keep things going, keep things fresh and refreshed. and build in natural off ramps that feel respectful and not punitive. We want every board member to serve with energy, not obligation. You don't want, oh, you still the president? Yeah, child, I got 2 more years. I got a year and a half left, and I'm getting out of here. We want that energy. You still president? Absolutely. This is my group. Let me tell you what we're doing. Okay? That's the energy we want. Second step, normalize succession conversations. It's not awkward. Have the conversation. We already talked about communication. Go on back into your YouTube channels and watch that. Every officer role should come with a built-in plan for what happens when the term ends. Don't wait for someone to announce, oh, y'all, I'm leaving in September. It's not going to happen. Have those regular check-ins we talked about earlier, those one-on-ones. Have those conversations. Have that plan already in place. So when they do say I'm leaving in September, you're ready. You knew about it ahead of time. They felt comfortable telling you ahead of time and not in a random board meeting. You want to treat leadership like a relay race. Someone should always be prepared to pass that baton. Believe it or not, I used to be a track runner, and I used to hit that baton quite well. Now, the dad body set in, and a baton passes used to give me that remote if I can get to my Netflix. Our last step is going to be build your pipeline early. You want to create those opportunities for new members, current board chairs to lead task force, maybe switch roles. Maybe you've been community affairs, or maybe you've been in charge of corporate relations, but you really want to take a stab at community affairs. You really want to take a stab at professional development or get into the community. You want to have those liaison roles prepared ahead of time, create those opportunities so people know, oh, I can do it. I don't have to be, in here 20 years to be a part. We're already all in roles at our regular jobs that we see what we want to do, but we can't get into somebody retires or goes on to glory. You also want to pair seasoned board members with emerging ones for informal mentoring. I like to do it all the time. You don't even know they're mentoring each other. They think they're just teaming up on different projects. Because sometimes when you put that word mentoring people clam up or they get super anxious or super overly prepared. It needs to be organic. So, hey, can y'all team up on this and get that done? It's super simple. They won't even know they're mentoring each other. They won't even know they're growing each other until it happens. That's a little tip for you. You want to ask yourself, if your board chair left tomorrow, who's ready? Who's close to ready? In my chief of staff days, we would have partner readiness conversations. So we'd already know who's going to be partner or partner up for partner in the next coming years. So it wouldn't be every year, okay, who's going to be partner, how they doing it, how their billable rates, how they build time, how their interpersonal skills, or you think they can manage this. We already knew, and we talked about it throughout the year. We did it again, y'all. I told you, part 1 is always the long one, and then 2, 3, and 4 is always going to be short, I promise. So we want to give you quick final thoughts. Succession is not a crisis moment. It's a culture creator. If your board cannot name who's next in line, or you dread the thought of asking someone to step aside, it's time to reach into that Barney bag and get proactive. You want to build a culture around your board, around your organization, where renewal, where refreshness is expected and not avoided, where everyone at the table can have the big seat. You can sit in. It fits everybody, I promise. And I'm going to help you get there. So, if you are getting ready to have those session conversations or you're dreading it, I want you to let it go with grace. Grow with purpose if you're on your way, and lead with clarity, my founder friends. Well, friends, thank you for tuning in to the RightTouch Rundown today. If this episode helped shift your thinking about board succession, you want to talk more about it, like the video, subscribe, and share it with a fellow leader, whether it be nonprofit or anything else. Remember, don't you gatekeep. And if your organization needs help updating those bylaws, writing those transition conversations, preparing for that succession information, or building that leadership pipeline, you already know where to go. RightTouchSolutions.com. And remember, my friends, Mission moves best with structure.